Hey guys, we'll get started in just a few minutes. AR, why don't you say a few words? How are your beloved Packers doing this week? Oh, so you don't. So Aaron Rodgers is allowed to stay. So 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 you're hoping he doesn't take that Jeopardy job then? It's stressful for news to pop up right before the show because then I have to go. Can I slam in everything that needs to be said in an article and make sure there's enough time for me and Lost to construct anything we need? Yes, it helps when the images are so small that the one thing that could have had more information, I believe I threw it at OK, goes and went, if you have time, try to translate it. It won't go up before the show. And then I clicked the image and I'm like, oh, that's fucking tiny. Yeah. Yeah, not getting anything there. They're saying they don't hear you guys. AR, talk for a moment. Why can they not hear you? 1 second. Da, 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 da.
Can
Try
they hear
again.
me saying fuck?
Okay. Yeah, they. Oh, that's exactly when I got it fixed. Actually.
That's exactly what fixed it.
Yeah. Okay, so the AR, do you want to go on about your beloved Packers really quickly? Since they didn't hear that. That's AR choosing to be silent, not.
Oh no, we killed AR.
It says he's still connected. We'll give him a minute. Oh no, that's the thing is since the people in the chat are mentioning it, AR can't actually be on mute on our end because it pipes in Dev and AR through the same audio.
Yeah, did you catch me there, or did you?
No. Okay, now
was I gone?
you're there.
Oh no, I was trying to talk.
Okay, me and Dev could not. It wasn't just the chat. Me and Dev couldn't hear you either.
Oh, okay. I don't know what was going on there.
Okay. They should be able to hear you now. I will wait for them to confirm though, just in case. AR, for what
It's
I'm sure for the third time, how's your beloved Packers?
They are winning.
Hurrah!
So there.
Okay.
I had a whole witty thing going on there, so it's a shame.
Sadly, it was lost to the abyss.
Actually, I may go ahead and clip Oh wait, that wouldn't be on the recording either because that's the same where I
No, it was
pipe.
before we went live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well. Well, it was worth a try. Okay. So
Rest in pieces.
they can definitely hear both of you. I love that the exact moment I got it working was when Dev's like, "Can they hear me say fuck?" Like that was the exact moment.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Okay, you guys ready to go?
Yes.
Okay. Welcome to the WtW podcast. We're here to entertain, inform, but while talking about Digimon, I'm Mark, a run with the will.
I'm AR Pulver, and I'll try to look away from the Packer game to pay attention to the show.
I'm DevQ, and I'm going to have to spend so much time on Wikimon tonight.
Do you think you'll be able to fix Yakstu?
No. I don't
It,
have that
it
much mental energy.
it's gone.
Deep down, I'm trying to decide if someone will try to argue that it's not Poyomon. Which like that's like a multi-layered name joke there, but like a super obvious one that no one can possibly argue against, so it means someone will for sure. But we will get to Poyomon and all the fun. How has the week been for? I guess how's the weekend been? The week is always the same. How's the weekend?
Weekend was good. I actually got over to Milwaukee for a staff meeting for my convention, helping contribute ideas and stuff. It was good to get back out into the field for a bit.
That's good. Dev, how was your weekend? Full of work, or did you get other stuff to do?
I had a mental health crisis, and then I got a stomach virus, so that's been fun. Also, drinking like all those coffees today was not helping whatsoever.
Oh, I did that even though I'm not feeling well today. I still did. Hey, coffee, and more.
Coffee,
I
coffee,
ha-
coffee, 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 coffee.
I had a can of cold brew, and very odd. There's an instant cold brew that's actually really good, but it's like an actual like powder instant coffee, but it actually comes out good.
I mostly just stick to like the vanilla frappuccinos because they're kind of like a melted milkshake with like a little bit of coffee flavor.
Yeah, I don't do the flavored stuff that much, to be honest.
I am a slut for vanilla.
That's
Aren't
fair. That's the only way I'd probably be able to get a coffee down.
basically just turning it into a milkshake that has a little bit of coffee flavor in it.
If
Exactly.
you could, yeah, and if you could do it without the coffee flavor, even better. I'm more of a cappuccino drinker.
Yeah, cappuccino's. I mean, that's still coffee, though. It's better coffee, but it's still coffee.
Eh. I've had
Kind of
more
like milk tea
cappuccinos that can.
more, but trying to get a hold of that is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I think you cut off, Dev.
Meow.
Okay, you're still there. It sounded like you were cutting off. Say one or two words just so we can confirm, Dev. Not cat noises, actual words.
I usually prefer getting milk tea, but that's a pain in the ass to get a hold of because I kind of have to drive a distance to get the good stuff.
Okay, good enough.
I'm surprised you didn't swear there.
I think she's worried about becoming predictable.
Only
Not
works
so much.
once.
Exactly. And then, hey, it's episode 66. As do you know how many goddamn messages there were, or general tweets from people confused that it wasn't over?
Some people haven't been paying attention.
It was.
It's
I don't know if they can hear us. Can you guys hear us right now? Something's acting very strange. We will wait to make sure they can actually hear us. I believe YouTube is having a small fit.
Yeah, that sounds like it does seem like a YouTube thing.
Yeah. Okay. We didn't quite get into the episode, but for those of you on the YouTube stream, YouTube appears to be having a small fit. It appears that is fixed.
It's the most
So
well-defined segue ever. We were
how,
bantering, and then the stream died for a second, and now we're going to get down to business.
YouTube is upset that it wasn't correct about 66 episodes since people kept posting about it. YouTube's upset that the show's going for 67.
Really wants it to beat over with.
I was pretty happy with this episode, to be honest. It is exactly what you would expect for the one episode left, but not really any plot to go off of.
Yeah, it was creatively empty, but also really pretty to look at. And
It's
I'm
a
like,
It
it's
just had really heavy Full Metal Alchemist vibes.
so it
yeah.
was a weird kind of pretty though. Like it was all very pretty to look at, but it wasn't like smooth. Like
No, it just had a lot of interesting design concepts
yeah.
and just the way,
I will say this: the eye becoming the mouth was fantastic
yeah,
at the
like that
beginning,
sort of
Yeah, that's
thing.
creepy as shit. I fucking love that.
and then we get the nice flashing, letting us know that the people can see, and that Omegamon's definitely going to show up, which we knew. And hey,
Yeah.
Joe, I like that Joe got the moment to point out why is the bad guy so worried about them if he's won.
Yep.
Yeah.
That Joe got to
Yes.
point it out,
And
and then
Joe makes an interesting observation for like the first time in the
yes,
series.
and then everyone gets their moment of about to fight talking.
Oh, good God, I
Which
hate that.
so here's the thing. I don't like it, but also I can't be mad at it because that's exactly what you expect to happen in not only kids shows, but honestly, like the shonen for adults would have done the exact same thing, to be honest.
It is like
It's
it's a
very
very
archetypal.
Yes.
yeah, it's very comic book movie kind of thing as well. It's just
Yeah.
I much prefer it when the characters actually have something to say in those moments instead of
Hey,
just we're
hey,
not going to quit
AR,
and we're going to beat
AR,
this thing.
AR, have some respect. They all said something. Just don't ask me what it was because I don't fucking remember any of it.
No, they did not actually say anything.
Hey,
You saw it
hey,
wrong.
mouths were moving and I heard sounds. That
Yeah,
counts.
they were talking but they weren't saying anything.
Basically, yes. And hey, data ghosts because hey, we get a preview of Ghost Game.
Ugh.
You know what bugs me the most? They did very little with that, but it actually worked really fucking well. Like
It's it gives
it's
something
kind,
it gave something for the unimportant kids to do.
and we got some nice amped up music. And
That
I will
break
say,
that
I
break
will.
the chain instrumental. Oh my
No, no,
God.
not even that. What I'm talking about is when they start amping up the music for them to attack, and then the attacks just don't do anything, and the music like just kind of stops.
Peters out, yeah.
Yeah. And am I
Record
wrong,
scratch.
or was that one random kid who popped up supposed to say something? Am I the only person who noticed that when they were showing the
His
real?
mouth was moving,
Okay, yeah,
but
yes,
nothing actually happened.
His mouth was moving and he was neither saying anything nor talking.
yeah, that's exactly it. And then, but don't worry, it's the power of hopes and dreams and friendship.
Eh, it's like so
Hope and light,
obvious,
hope and
but
light,
yet
hope and light, hope and light,
yeah,
hope and light.
it's so obvious. Like all of us predicted that last week, and yet it's like yeah, that's sort of what they have to
It's
do.
not yeah, it's not even something you get credit for guessing.
Yeah, you don't get credit for doing it, but at the same time, if you didn't do that, I'm like, but
We'd
you were
be very
building up to
confused.
that,
But that
so
and then like they frame. Will say this, I like that they actually do the framing setup. Going, it's the thing that happened with Millennium, but from the other world.
yes, yeah.
Like that worked oddly well considering that was a one-off thing that honestly I didn't really expect to matter ever again.
I no, I
But it
kind of
did,
figured it would be.
so
And
give
then
him a
Yeah,
miss.
I
hey
figured
look,
it would be
and then look at
something like
that. It's a
that.
wall of messages from children all over the world. Did I eh,
No,
the,
we said that.
Oh no,
We all
absolutely.
said that.
That's the one where I've seen people go, I knew that was gonna happen. It's like everyone knew that was gonna.
Yeah, everyone knew that was going to happen.
There's not a
Nobody gets
thing.
points for predicting that.
Yeah. And then so here's the interesting thing. And then as we get, they sort of frame everything as the opposite of the negative that fed Negamon, which was
Mm, yeah,
obvious.
again,
Um,
obvious.
I will say this. As much as it was reused animation, the kind of weird mix and match short evolution scenes for the other four kids, those worked really well considering those were kind of like, hey, we got better shit to do with our time.
Yeah, really.
Like, it's
And
odd that
again,
those worked so well.
it's the four and again, it's the four unimportant
And
kids. Well, no, I
oddly,
should say the unimportant kids minus Yamato.
So then here's the odd thing. So we get the Dark Knightmon Shadow, which worked, and Devimon popped up, but there's something interesting about Devimon which I'm not sure if people noticed. Seraphimon's actually
Black feather?
beaten him. What'd you say?
The black feather?
No, the Mark of Evil's gone. Like that's part of his character
Oh.
profile thing, where like when he was corrupted and became evil, the mark appeared on him. That's gone.
Oh shit, didn't even notice.
Takaru wins again.
Yeah, I like that they gave lip service to that
Yeah.
concept. It was something I'd been talking about here for the last couple weeks, and was pretty sure that they weren't going to do that, even though it felt appropriate. So I'm glad they at least sort of gave it. They sort of acknowledged the idea,
And
even though
they
really
use
didn't.
they use the
They
ghost
didn't go
spirit.
very far with
They
it.
use the ghost spirit Skull Knightmon because Skull Knightmon doesn't talk or had to have anything to say. It's
Yeah.
it's just yes, we know this was relevant at one point.
Yeah, that was. It's like, yeah, that was a thing.
It's basically that if they want to use Devimon with Ophanimon there, they can't ignore that something similar happened to her, so they just kind of have him standing there.
I mean, they've been ignoring that something similar happened to her since basically Tailmon showed up, but hey,
To be
they
fair,
did. They
when
remembered.
they dealt with it a few times. I'm not saying they dealt with it well, but they dealt with it.
They did deal with it, and then they
And then,
forgot about it like 20
shockingly,
episodes
we
ago.
get the first we get like the first proper Omegamon evolution sequence with and as you put, a really fucking amazing
That's
like
so good.
it's not only
Yeah,
so
Like the
good.
I
chain
love the old
instrumentals,
forms.
like
They
Here,
break the chain.
that was
so here's
that
the weird
was
thing. As an instrumental, does it almost sound like We Are Crossheart?
kind of, which is
Hey,
appropriate.
yeah.
My brain almost like I almost recognize it as an instrumental of We Are Crossheart rather than Break the Chain.
It fits. I
And here's the
mean,
thing, I haven't opened the CD yet because I've been busy, and now I'm like, is that on the fucking CD or is that something that like they made after? Because I really
I
want that
would.
to be on the fucking
Oh,
CD.
yeah, right.
Because here's the thing, I can
Oh,
imagine it being there or not being there, either one.
yeah, I would have guessed that they didn't include that since it hadn't happened until now. But
But here's the
man,
thing,
I would like it. I would like a copy of that though.
yeah,
Yes,
I
please.
need once I'm not busy, I'm going to open up because the problem is that would have been by the composer, so it could have a completely different title, and I need
Yeah.
to know when I have. And they ended on a good moment to do so, which they did last week also, picking like the exact right moment to end on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and then it ends. We lead into last episode, and man, you
Mm.
can really tell though just how like weak people's convictions are who were like 100% about the Digivice. They've like
Go
lost
on.
they've like lost all their conviction about Alter X showing up entirely. It's like there's an
Oh,
episode left. There's an episode left, guys.
there
There's
is an
time.
episode left. Like
Like here's
it
the thing.
could
You've
still
had
totally happen.
you've had that conviction for a year and a half, basically.
I mean, you think about
Give
it.
it one more week. Like here's the thing.
Well,
Uh, Sorry, go ahead.
it's like you'd think about it with 2 episodes left, you'd think that this could have been the episode where Omegamon shows up relatively early and gets beaten and needs another form, and then Alternate S shows up at the end of this episode. But what they're doing now works equally well.
Yeah,
And
but
it's
see that's
just as
interesting.
likely to set up Alter S.
So I
Like
guess
Alter S could be an Act 2 kind
yeah,
of
I
thing.
guess the question is at this point, do you think they're doing Alter S or no?
I feel like they're gonna.
I lean.
It would be really disappointing if
It feels like they're
if
setting up a power
Omegamon,
up.
who again showed up in episode 2, ended up being the final form in episode 67.
Except here's objectively the issue with it be like I don't see this as a negative because man, people can say it showed up twice before, but people were fucking amped on Saturday. Like holy shit, Twitter was imploding, which tells
Yes,
you
they were.
the power of Omegamon.
God,
Like
simpletons.
it was trending. People were doing artwork and stuff. It's like there's a reason why Omegamon just blows everything else away. we we've already seen him twice in the show, but it was long enough at that point that, especially with the evolution sequence, people were just flipping out.
And I will forever laugh at those people.
could be worse.
was
It
fun
could
for a
it
while.
could be the people who are like, and the Ghost game Digimon are gonna be the most popular Digimon of all time, and then in one random
Oh.
episode, Omegamon's just gonna walk past the screen, and then it
Yeah.
will trend.
Omegamon's been in a lot of different series, so it's not unlikely.
At the very least, they could have it be Omegamon.
I mean, if
I hope
the final
so.
form was Omegamon, then
No, I'm talking
finally
about
this
in Ghost
this
Game.
show might. Oh, in a
In Ghost
Ghost
Game,
game, then
they can easily do something like it's a haunting based on a popular cartoon character, and it's just Omegamon walking past the screen, dancing.
Hunters had a golden opportunity to get Omegamon in there, and they dropped the ball.
To be fair, they used Betsumon, I believe, for that.
Yeah, they could have incorporated Omegamon into the
I
Betsumon
feel like,
episode, and
see, here's the thing: when Omegamon does properly show up, I don't want to be as a villain. I want to just be as kind of like. You guys watch the '90s Kids WB Superman cartoon, right?
Yes.
possibly I
Like
don't remember.
like Mr. Mixoplitnik.
Yeah,
I don't
him.
recall that particular character.
I've heard. Yeah, it
Tiny
sounds.
midget with a hat. He talked with
Yeah,
the voice of Gilbert Gottfried.
yeah. Betsumon
Uh,
wasn't necessarily he was villain. He was
no,
chaotic
I know, but I
neutral
mean,
more
like,
than
I want it
villainous.
to be like some kind of fucking weirdo rather than like a coherent character, is what I mean.
Oh, that's fair.
Like, I
So
feel like
basically, you want Discord from My Little Pony. Just a dipshit that
Ooh.
shows up and causes chaos.
Maybe
Yeah.
not. Maybe not that over.
I've never watched that, so I can't comment.
Maybe not
to be
that
honest.
over. That's a
It,
little OP for Omegamon, but something like
it's
that. Yeah.
basically Q from Star Trek.
Okay,
Except
Yes.
see,
with pony
I
flesh.
was literally going. Okay, literally in my head I was going. I don't know who that is, but maybe something
Q
like
is
Q.
Q is the
He's
perfect
literally
comparison
Q
for
and also
Discord.
the actor Q.
Yeah.
It-
Is it the actor?
I knew
Yes, it's the
John
same
Delancey was
exact
in the show.
actor.
Are you
Oh
telling
my
me
god! I never knew that.
Are you telling me
John
They just have John Delancey play Q in the show with a
Yes.
different name?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my
Except they
god,
made him a fucked up dragon, pony,
Okay, I knew he was
cow
in the
thing.
show because he talks about it. I knew he was in the
I
show. I didn't know he actually played like Q.
I
He basically
absolutely
played Q in My Little Pony.
I absolutely love that, and I'm
It
not
was
a Star Trek
hilarious.
fan,
I
and
greatly enjoyed it.
I'm not a Star
He's
Trek
having the time of
fan,
his life.
and I'm well over My Little Pony, but I love that so much.
And then, so a few days away, we have the last episode, the end of the adventure.
Yay!
The extended preview. Do you know how the narration ends?
Is it Hirata?
No,
I didn't watch the extended.
No, it's it's the adventure never ends.
Oh yeah,
That's a threat for all of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They know what makes their money.
Yeah. And man, they sure do have that Hosada outline. Nice way to celebrate his birthday. So we're all reasonably happy with that. Not perfect, but I was pretty happy with that, to be honest.
Yeah, I kind of surrendered to the prettiness of it, to be honest.
This felt like this is kind of like the good Mimi episodes where if you kind of, and I don't mean you specifically, I mean in general, if you kind of just come out going, well, that episode shit, it's kind of like, what, you don't like fun?
Yeah, not as on board with the Mimi episodes, but yeah, this one's sort of
Well,
like this was just too much fun.
I feel like all the Mimi episodes minus the last one.
Yeah, it was too much. It was too much fun, and at the where they're at in the story, they're kind of pinned in a corner where there's only one route they can take. So I can't fault them for taking that route.
On the plus side, I don't think we will pop up with the final episode and then Devimon taking over. I think his cameo at least like tells us that probably isn't going to happen because that really was like in the guessing pool that Devimon would pop out, take over the dude, and that would be it.
Oh, good God.
That was in the betting pool. And then because...
what are the odds on Millenniumon doing that?
But he's a loser.
He is, but I'm sure someone's put money on it.
I feel like when you get like completely vaporized, they're like, and he's vaporized and never coming back, and there's a bigger villain standing right behind him, it probably means he's gone.
But it's Millenniumon, and he has vague time powers.
Oh, fuck.
Timey-wimey.
And those time powers meant that we got a bunch of news today, right before the show.
Spite.
Curse you, Millenniumon.
Yeah. So we get a nice Ghost Game spread in V-Jump with questions and answers, which we will go over later because those are tiny, and I don't think Onke could read those, but I don't know.
I kind of zoomed in. The kanji's kind of blurry as shit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So no doubt we'll have some of that stuff later, and then they did previews of the dims. And interestingly, right afterwards, they put up the almost full dim lineups, but not with the same ones they show in the magazine, which means the magazine had some exclusives like, hey, look, no Leomon, even though that's in the magazine. And interestingly, it appears the dims may only tell us up to who the perfects are, which would be nice. And we also get those baby forms. So for Gammamon, we get Crymon and Grymon. I feel like Grymon is like the most stereotypical. This is exactly what I expected this Digimon to look like. Where it's just sort of a flat version of Gammamon's head, but still with the spikes, and he still has the tooth. Like it's exact.
This is just a head.
Yeah, it's exactly the stereotype of this Digimon is just a head. Then for Angoramon, we get Pionmon and Bosamon, which I believe Pion is like the rabbit bouncing noise, isn't it? The onomatopoeia for
that's
that?
like a hop.
That sounds right, yeah.
Yeah. Again, those sort of look like just chopping off his head. Although I have to admit, I like
He's
the
just making
design.
it slightly more fluffy.
Yeah. And Jellymon, we get Poyomon and Poyoyomon. Which it feels
it's like your Kuramon is a girl.
So here's the thing. When we saw Jellymon, the thing I was thinking was her head kind of looks like the fucking things from Puyo Puyo. And I was like, that's just, that's not on purpose. That's just what it happens to look like. It's like, oh no, this is clearly fucking on purpose.
Yeah.
Because like I'm going to go ahead and link one there for you guys and for.
I feel like I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, her head is 100% one of those, especially now that we have the names, because that is what her head looks like.
Yeah,
because when I saw that, I'm like, it looks like a Poyo jelly, but it's like, she's a jelly Digimon. That's just kind of the look. It's like, no, they call their lower levels Poyomon and then Poyoyomon. The only way it gets better is if one of her higher forms is Poyomon.
Is it Poyomon or Puyomon?
I'm saying Poyo because that's how I say it.
Puyo.
Yeah, I'm just gonna continue to say it wrong because that works for me.
That's been your thing, so go for that.
Or I will just have Dev make the Kirby noise.
Exactly. That's what I'm here for, to make sound effects.
Yes. But yeah, so V-Jump, we also got to look at the stickers, which, I mean, we've seen them before.
But we saw the stickers before, so.
They do, but they look nice. I like the stickers. And then, because it didn't fit anywhere else, Rearise, with a lot of O2 and adventure stuff, Psycho Jump is going to have quite a bit of Digimon next time.
They like to mix up their homages.
Yeah. And I still need to get confirmation at some point about when Psycho Jump went monthly. I think it might just be right now. I need to check that at some point. Because I know it wasn't monthly when the Atmon manga was running, the school one.
Oh yeah, Atmon Gakuen or something like that.
Gakuen, yeah.
I think it was just Atmon Gakuen. Yeah, I don't think they went with any of the clever titles or anything. And then cards. So V-Jump also had card stuff, which mostly started X9 and 10. Very nice Tailmon art. The Wizardmon art, a few people on Twitter are losing their fucking minds over, in the positive way.
I mean, I don't blame them.
Yeah.
Although I will have to say, the multicolor kind of feels lazy as shit. Like, here's the thing: I like simple color combinations. Use a gradient or something. It looks fucking weird the way they've done it, where they just split the color down the middle and that's it. It looks like something's wrong. They quickly go over the, I don't remember what the term they used was, but the social media deck sharing thing they were making. They kind of mentioned that in, like, was it July, and then we haven't heard of it since. It was because
I
it
don't
was
even
before.
remember it.
I think it was either before DigiFest or right after. And then also in Psycho Jump, Gammamon gets a promo card. Although if you look at that arc, does Gammamon seem confused that he's getting a card?
It's like this. Welcome to the big time, buddy. You get stuff now.
Until the
Got
show
work.
until the show ends, and then it's back to Agumon.
Yeah, he'll be. I mean, he might be forgotten in a year, but for now, enjoy it.
Yeah, you can have Gatchmon be your roommate.
Yeah,
And then Card Battle had a
I bet they'd
Mastamon
be
card.
friends.
Nice art for Mastamon, I have to say. Like, very nice artwork. The preview kind of looked like shit, though.
Yeah,
They've been having some video quality. There was an episode a few weeks ago where the video quality was just abysmal, and then from those starter decks we also have the promo art with the covers and the pack. See, like are you alive, Dev?
Yeah. Uh,
Did it?
microphone fell.
Oh, okay, that would make sense. Like the covers for the packaging. Hey, look, they have gradients. They mix the colors in a bit. It looks nice. They don't do that on the card though.
'Cause they
I
hate
like.
us.
I really like how they do that though. I wish the cards did something. And then, hey, a new Tamers Evolution box featuring various anime heroes. We get the rubber play.
mm,
We get the rubber playmat with not quite the final forms, but with I would call them the final regular forms of these
yeah.
Digimon.
The standard final forms.
Yeah, and of course, Gumdramon and Gatchmon aren't included because no Appmon have shown up yet, and Gumdramon does not have a card yet. People were very upset that Gumdramon wasn't showing up here, but these are all parallel stuff. There's
Yeah,
nowhere
these all
actually to put
actually
him.
have. Yeah, you have to have some
Yeah.
content with them. I'm surprised Gumdramon doesn't have a card yet, though.
See,
They
I
might be
feel like,
saving
But
for a little bit later.
yeah,
yeah,
because you
yeah.
don't want to
They'll-
throw, because we're only to booster 7 at this point. You don't want to throw all the heroes in at once.
Yeah, Gumdramon will get his.
Yeah.
I hope
Plus,
Gatchmon will get his, but Gumdramon certainly at some point.
realistically, it feels like we have to be close to the time where they will just like have an Appmon set, and that will be the thing.
Yeah.
And then we get a box with lower level Digimon, which I really
It's
like
so
that
fucking
artwork.
adorable.
cute.
Yeah. That art also shows up on the 50 sleeves that show up, and we get lower levels for the 5 egg sleeves, which, man, that's cute art. Although Vmon looks
Mhm.
upset. Vmon looks like he's about to punch someone in the face. Then we get
It's like I'm winning this race, Koromon, because you don't have legs.
then we get the memory gauge with the higher level Digimon. Now, the memory marker is weird because it's not themed after the set. That's the thing from the back of the cards, isn't it? Like the energy ball.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell. It's very small. We're guessing. Then we get the separator box that includes everything. And then the thing that everyone will actually buy this for, 8 parallel cards, which all look badass.
Yes, that is the energy ball from the cards. I forgot I had a card just on my
Oh,
desk.
good. So
Lying
we
around.
get the 6th hero Digimon from elsewhere in the set, with their higher levels behind them that are also set. Wormmon gets like a nice filler position with normal Imperial Dramon.
I
And
love
that
him.
and then win rate 60% gets a card with all of them on it. And that was from our beloved classic booster, wasn't it? That card?
Oh,
It's a-
I don't know. But I like
Yeah,
this art.
that's definitely an older, like a Hyper Coliseum card.
Yeah, I zoomed in. It does say EX10. Yeah, so it is from a parallel card from that set. The art on all of these is so nice. The funny part is one of them, ignoring the option card, one of these doesn't quite fit in because they don't have the main Digimon to use that's small enough. the Agunimon one, if you like look at the way they're all done, and that one has them like action posing because they kind of can't mix in action and amusement. So that's up to pre-order in Japan. Premium Bandai USA already put that up with the English version of the cards. Not cheap, $70.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pass.
I'm I'm trying to decide like what one extra thing could they put in that would make it worth 70 to me. Although I'm a bad choice for this because I don't collect the cards, but I'm trying to think like what's an extra thing they could do that would make it worth it? Because it does feel a little
Jumbo display cards.
yeah. Like have posters of the 8 pieces of art, of the various artwork pieces because there's 11 pieces of new artwork for this, correct? Charge 100 and have it include 11 posters.
I would do that.
Yeah, that's what I would do that also. Um, then also from cards, Fun Digica did a secret deck match, which my understanding of what it was Miyano hasn't won yet, and someone helped her make a deck in secret to try to win. I don't recall if she does win or not though. And then Card Battle had match, and then switching over, it had a guest this week. Not always
Yes, it
nice
did.
to see. Always nice to see Monodamon.
Yeah, we don't get enough of Monodamon in our lives.
No, I
That's a looking at that, I'm like, that is an easier cosplay than I would have expected. Like now I'm tempted.
yeah. I really hope they continue to do these because these have been a fucking delight every time.
I have to agree.
Yes.
Like they're just silly and enjoyable.
And in a show with production values.
Speaking of which, the Packers are now well in control of this game, and Aaron Jones just won me my fantasy week, so I'm very happy.
And then
Congrats at Sport Ball.
for those
Thank
of
you.
you who enjoy the pop-up shops, Digimon, the 5th current version of the pop-up shop closes in about a week and a half from now. And they introduced some new stuff and some stuff that's a surprise. I want to say this was probably stuff that was intended for the shop from the beginning, but all the shipping delays that are happening with basically everything means that they never said it, and they're only getting them now, and they're going to be sold online. So we have the 4th series of acrylic towers featuring the O2 duos, which these are all fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
And then, hey, they almost remembered that it's an anniversary year for Savers.
I don't know if they remember. I don't know if they remembered or not, but they're just throwing some savers stuff out just because.
So we get can
Flash
badges
is
and
gonna be happy.
we get
Yeah,
can
I'm not
badges
complaining.
and acrylic keychains with new artwork. Does Lalamon look bored to you?
Lalamon always looks
Lavamon
bored.
just vibing.
That is
Yeah.
just her default position.
And then the Saver shirt, which is a plain white t-shirt with the
This
the
is their
necklace he
response
wears.
to the dog tag thing. This is their response to that one poll where they were collecting
On
merch
Digimon
ideas.
Partners, yeah.
No, you know what this
Yeah.
is? This is you better fucking vote for that, or else this is all you're gonna fucking get. Because that
Right.
would have, I believe that would actually, I think the poll actually closes like right about now. I think because it was the 20th, wasn't it?
Mm, it's the 21st now, so in
Yeah,
Japan.
it was late September, and then we get Tamers Otadama, which a lot of people are upset that Terramon didn't get one, and that's when I saw most people going, no, the thing is he already got one.
Yeah.
I was
That's
gonna say,
why
doesn't
he's not
he
here.
already have one?
Yeah, he got one in the adventure sets.
Yeah, with like the 0-2 characters.
I don't remember if it was with the 0-2 characters, but he got one during all of those. So Kulumon gets the slot here, and then we get War Greymon, Melgreymon, Holy Angemon, and I had to sit there and go, have we really not gotten War Greymon yet? And apparently
I want to
not.
see what
Yeah.
these look like in person and not just
th-
kind of a mock-up.
They look how you expect. There's been a few pictures showing up of them. The Omegamon one has cuter arms than we expected. Then it appears this was the, hey, let's bring back the Otodama, but do them as giant cushions.
Oh, so Terriermon.
Yeah, so Terriermon gets included there. And he's smiling because he's happy to be included with the popular characters. And then the
He
store
gets
also
to sit at the cool kids table.
and the store also added various DigiFest items. And not including the new items, these are all for sale on Digimon Partners right now. The new items, I assume, will show up the day after the pop-up shop closes. Wild guess on my part, I'm sure. Along with, I'm also sure, every single person who saw the notice that those would go up later. So, really feels like they should say something about Saviors this year. Like, not even like a mild acknowledgement that it's the anniversary.
They announced
just some social art.
Yeah,
Did
they announced
we get
some
social
merch.
art?
They did not.
Did we?
I
think we
remember.
might have gotten social art. Did something with
might have
Shine
gotten
Greymon or
social
something?
art. Yeah.
If we didn't, it feels like we did.
Yeah,
But
because
like
that announcement for this merch didn't say anything
no,
about an anniversary.
it
It's
didn't
just
say
like,
anything. It's just,
here,
hey, here's some Saviors shit.
Savers
Shut up,
merch.
kid. Shut up, kid.
Shut up. Yeah, that's right.
And
Leave us alone.
And then more from Pin Club for New York Comic Con, their online store. Hey, look, Agumon. It's truly a shock. Again,
Surprise.
A 3-set with Agumon, Koromon, and Greymon. I'm kind of disappointed because I actually kind of want to buy these, but I don't think I will.
I might get these.
It's weird. Like, there's not much special here, but I kind of want them.
Yeah, I don't have any. I have a Gatomon pin. I don't have an Agumon. So
yeah.
this is tempting.
I think part of why I'm less tempted is it feels like this is gonna be one of those. Okay, so I've gotten these. So to get the next one, I have to wake up at 6 a.m. to go to their website for the. It feels like it's gonna turn into that, and I've ejected out.
Yeah,
of doing...
I'm not that interested.
Well, I was doing that
especially
with...
for Agumon line.
No. I mean, for
I
future
get,
ones.
With the Gammamon line,
I mean for future ones. It's like, oh, these will be easy to collect. That's what happened to me with those Power Ranger Lightning figures. It's like, oh, they're gonna do 2 waves a year and a few exclusives. That will be fun to collect because I haven't collected stuff like that in a while. And now it's like 3 years later, it's like I have 50 or 60 of these fucking things. It's like I'm pretty sure I'm gonna sell them all, even the limited ones, because I thought it was gonna be, I thought it was gonna be like fun. It's like at one point I was waking up for the exclusive ones, like, oh fuck, I don't need to do this.
Yeah, it becomes more of a chore to collect than
exactly.
anything.
It's became more of a chore, and a lot of the characters I don't like.
That's why I just get like my favorites of things now. Just
but
because,
here's the thing.
Yep.
Here's the thing. I like Tommy, which means I already have like 10 of him.
Yeah. My only Tommy thing is a Jason David Frank picture he signed for me because I helped him at a booth once. That's the extent of my Power Rangers collection.
And then model kits. They really went nuts with model kits. So first, we knew Magnamon was coming as part of the same line and looks really fucking nice. Like, I'm very
really fucking good.
I'm very tempted on this one because not only that,
I'm absolutely getting this.
It's only $25.
Yeah, I actually kind of want to get 2 so I can like recolor one.
Are you gonna do the rear eyes one with the black armor?
I kind of really want to.
Because here's the thing, a lot of the rear eyes recoloring have been, like flipping colors, inverting colors, or picking random colors. That one actually really fucking worked. And then the big surprise is we weren't sure if Amplified was going to continue because it kind of felt like maybe they were replacing it. But we get Amplified Beelzebub, which again looks really nice, but like it doesn't quite fit Amplified, does it?
It doesn't look spiky enough.
I'm trying to think how I want to put it.
It still looks really good.
It's Beelzebub when someone told him he was going to be in the Amplified line and he tried. I like it, but it doesn't quite completely fit the vibe.
Yeah, it's not really like Amplified has kind of like more like a Gundam sort of feel to it.
Yeah.
It's as
Yeah.
amplified as you can get, and still have him look like Beelzebub without just having it be blast mode, I think.
Right.
Yeah, it would definitely have to be blast mode for the more Gundam look. So kind of like
Yeah.
the paneled wings would have been a good choice.
Yeah, and they only wanted this to be 45, and the wings would make it a good 80, 90. Don't worry though, I'm Premium Bandai. I'm sure we'll get a $200 version of the kit with the wings. It'll come with amplified behemoth.
Oh god damn, I would.
Oh man.
And Deb kind of hates herself right now because she knows I'm probably right, and she's gonna buy it
I
if it shows up.
know.
And then, speaking of Premium Bandai recolors, man, no one saw Paladin mode coming, did they? I was about to say, one,
Well, not yet.
the kit looks really good
Yeah,
as Paladin mode.
it does.
The wings look great. The sword looks amazing. And so here's the weird thing. I keep looking at the image going, man, I'm not sure this has the transforming parts. And I'm looking at it going, why do I think that when I don't have the kit and never looked at it long enough to see how it transformed because the dragon mode was ugly? I mean, I'm sure it does, but like looking at the images, and that was kind of the issue we all kind of agreed on that the original had was it kind of was like, how can we make this transform rather than like actually having dragon mode? And I look at this like they're not talking about dragon mode, and if I didn't know it was based on a mold that did it, I would not think this was a transforming kit. And I'm trying to decide if it will or won't just from looking at it, because it doesn't scream transforming to me looking at it, but the other one didn't either. I really like that fucking sword, though, I have to say.
Get the thing.
Yeah. How much do you think this will be a premium Bandai when it shows up?
Good chance of it.
Would you like to know what the Digimon.net page says about this product?
Oh no.
It says price undecided, which is never a good
Oh,
sign.
no.
Oh no.
Yeah. Poor
They're
Dev.
just gonna keep going up, and they'll tell you when to stop.
Exactly. Poor Dev.
It's okay. I like Beelzebumon more than Imperial Dramon by a
And
good margin
it just
anyway.
came to mind to me that I did not have these images up as rotating ones. These were manually switching ones. And that did not occur to me while we were talking about them. But yeah, I
Okay,
would
people won't be as tempted this way.
Yeah, I would say Paladin mode looks great. Beelzebub, it looks nice. The problem is I'm not sure that character was the best choice for Amplified. Like, I
Yeah.
like the look of it. And Magnamon looks fucking amazing. Here's the thing. These, until you get a kit, you can never be sure, but this kind of looks perfect, doesn't it?
It looks really fucking nice.
I know, and
It
like,
also looks like one of the like simpler kits, so it's not like you're going out of your mind trying to put together a character that you like. So
you
it
know what
looks
was
like
funny was I ordered one of those just to try it, and I haven't tried it yet. It was like a $16 like basic Gundam, and I was just like, I want to see what one of these basic kits are like, and I just haven't had the time. I keep going, I don't actually know how long this takes to do, and I don't have the time to sit down and do it, so we'll see.
probably like 30 minutes to an hour tops.
I wanted to order the ramen one, but they canceled the order. So I don't even
What, they
know.
ran out of stock?
I don't remember it. The order got canceled. I don't remember if I reordered it or not. If I did, it's sitting in a corner somewhere.
I saw
With
a really fun video of someone putting that together and also the gold version.
I vaguely recall the gold one. But yeah, those all look nice. And then, so we go to China, but this is where the confusing thing is. So China's getting new cards. As far as I can tell, I think these are just collector's cards that give like energy levels and stuff on them. I don't think it's a card game, but I'm not
Yeah,
100% sure. It
you'd think
appears
that if it was a card game, there would be a few more with some details and
yeah,
instructions on how to
but
use the
it's one of
card.
those things where like I can cobble together working translations off Japanese decently well for product solicitations. Chinese the tools for doing it with Chinese aren't quite as good, so it's a bit hard to tell. But I believe that
Yeah.
yes, they're collector's cards,
Yeah.
and it's
Honestly, it
most
kind of looks like the ones that we used to have in
yeah.
America, where it's just like a couple random cards, and it's just like just has the information on the other side. It's just like
Yeah.
a
So
text.
the other side of these are a QR code, and it says it takes you to information about that Digimon.
Hmm.
It also mentions that it uses a Japanese server for that, so I think it's just the reference book. So I'm kind
More
of
than
curious to
likely, that
see.
would
So
make
I'm
sense.
kind of curious to see, like, what does Tai Chi take you to?
Maybe Toei's page.
Yeah, and almost all of these are artwork from Battle Spirit cards with some new effects.
And if the back has a QR code, that's a pretty good indicator that it's not for a card game.
Yeah, but most people sleeve them anyway, so it's hard to tell from that.
Yeah,
Like,
you
I
can't
like
you
I
can't
agree.
assume that though.
I agree with you in theory though. But yes, in theory, the very fact that you could have unique backs means it can't be a card game.
Yeah.
So yeah. Um. So then for the exhibition, the Omegamon card will be given to everyone who shows up for it, because of course it will. And the first 1,000 people get a free pack of cards.
Hmm.
So neat little thing. I think the Omegamon on the packaging is new art. I could be wrong there, but that doesn't look familiar to
It
me.
doesn't look entirely familiar, yeah.
It looks nice though, I have to admit. And then the exhibition's adding a bunch of new products. So we get Vital Bracelet, Dim cards, the Adventure Digivice, both waves of the Pendulum Z, and the 20th anniversary V-Pets. The new cards, whatever they are, in various model kits. And that is open now or about to open. So this weekend or next weekend we should have photos of it, because I've been sent some already actually. So I'm waiting to see if we get more. It looks nice, to be honest. So we'll see. And then, hey, more Ghost Game. So not a huge thing, just seemed like something fun to put up. The Digimon Adventure Museum exhibition has added a Ghost Game poster,
Which,
which,
by the way, we have another series. Please watch this.
yeah, I assume that to the right you can see a little like placard. I assume it says "Go watch Ghost Game." Look, it's an image we've seen, but I like that they have the poster hanging there. It's
Yeah,
nice.
it's nice to cross promote.
Exactly. And then we have the profile art for Abadamon, and then Kenji Watanabe artwork of him. And he pointed out that the design actually kind of is based on the Crosswords manga and Full Metal Alchemist.
I was gonna say, that
Yeah.
kind of really,
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
hits the FMA vibes.
Yeah. He also commented on Devimon helping. But yeah, the design, he does also mention, they wanted a design for the final enemy to be kind of irregular and kind of creepy, so it sort of ended up like Shademon and Eyesmon. Eyes and mouth in the
Yeah.
darkness to look creepy.
Yeah.
I
And
mean, thematically, it works really well.
well,
It's like a
Yeah,
nice
it works.
so that's
continuation.
actually
And
what
it's not like Eismon wasn't connected to this earlier in the show.
yeah, and that's also what he pointed out when he was asked about that sort of thing. He thought the kind of like weird black eye, the blackness, the eyes, the mouth kind of fit with the idea of, darkness on the internet. So he kind of didn't do any twist for it because it kind of just worked as is.
Yeah, random creepy eyes is always a winner.
Yeah. And the mouth, although I only just noticed now he has two tongues.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, so we get I'm trying to decide if I like the profile art better or his art. Well, both would be him, but there's something like really menacing about the profile art this
The
time.
Probably because it's like more dark around it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Although I like how you could tell he had to like flatten when he did his signature because of the only place he could put it. So like if you look at the K, it's really like not there.
Squishy.
Yeah. And then we have questions, so those of you in the chat can throw those up as we go with the ones that have been sent. Someone wanted to know, Do you think Kakudo should have been allowed to have more involvement in Last Evolution Kazuna? They wanted him to.
Yeah, he was gonna,
Yeah.
and then it's
So
you
we
really
we we generally do know the chain of events. So maybe it'd be fair to start with that.
yeah.
At s
Remind everyone
so
that chain first.
so tries doing well, and they decide they're gonna do more adventure for the next anniversary. An up and coming anime director is signed on to the project, and his idea is the one for that's going to be the story for the movie. They find a writer who's done Digimon before and can work with the director, and Kakudo is going to come on as a consultant to help make sure it has that feeling of adventure because that is his universe.
Hmm.
Even if he's not the primary writer for it, it's him. And he was apparently also pitching what he thought the story should be, even though, as far as we're aware, the director had the idea for the story when he signed on to be involved. At some point, and he decided, well, they're not going to use his story. There's not really any reason for him to be there.
Hmm.
And he left. But as far as we know, they wanted him there as like a production consultant because he could help make sure things fit. He could give suggestions, which that's why you have, say, Hiromi
Yeah,
Seki around for this stuff so much, as she
yeah,
knows this stuff inside and out.
yeah.
And
And it's
as far as we know, he just decided that wasn't acceptable to him.
yeah, and
Technically speaking, we don't know. Based on what he said and what we know of the chain, that's what happened.
yeah. I mean, when you look at the concept of Kizuna, the whole idea about kids and their Digimon separating on adulthood, it's pretty easy to assume that
Yes.
that was just incompatible with his vision for the future of the adventure world. Like that
No,
rule just didn't jive with him, and that's
no,
the whole
absolutely.
movie.
Yeah,
So
and
there's
it's
really
also worth mentioning though. The movie also very much goes out of its way to point out that one, they're heading to the O2 epilogue, and
yes.
two, which a lot of people seem to miss this, even though it's pretty obvious, they're saying at the end, "Screw this, we're not done.
Yeah,
We're not
yes.
letting
It's
it
like we're
end
not
this way."
giving up. We'll meet
But
again.
Yeah,
but even then, the concept of the separation, like if
yeah,
Kakudo's not on board with that, then it's
yeah.
just oil and water, and
But
it's
yeah,
not going to work.
that's where we believe the flaw is
You
not
have to
not the
believe
flaw.
so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
is that regardless of, he's just not happy with that idea.
yeah. So if
And
you
the
think
thing,
Kakudo
that's
should
the
have had
movie.
more involvement, the movie would be completely
Well,
different.
no, see, here's the thing. You can be involved and not be the person in charge. Like that does
Right, but if
happen.
I'm saying that if that was the sticking point,
Yeah, and we
that
assume that's the
Kakudo's
sticking
like
point.
change this or I leave, then
And bye,
either
because
the movie's going to be completely different or he's going to leave, and he left.
exactly. And I mean, here's the thing. He has every right to do so, and it may not have been
Hmm.
wrong for him to do so if he feels that strongly about it. I would
Yeah.
say he probably did not go about it the best way publicly, though.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, that they were very much willing to have him be involved. He just wasn't allowed to dictate the story.
Yeah.
And to be fair, we've seen in the past that that's been a thing where he's very much not happy with the movies in general. Oddly, the only movie we don't know what he thinks of is the Try stuff, oddly. Because he's commented negatively about basically all the other movies. Try, he kind of just goes,
Didn't
yeah,
say shit.
he kind of said, I found out about it the same time everyone else did, and good luck to
Hmm.
them. And then he kind of hasn't really said much else. And it's not like we can even derive an opinion based on him being willing to do Kazuna.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of weird that those are the only things like he's kind of not commented on. So a bit weird.
Like he came back after Try.
Yeah. Yeah. And he did show up for a lot of the Try marketing stuff though, like when they did the real
Yes, he
world and
did.
all that.
That
Yeah.
was
So
that was a lot of the ones where he snuck in and took pictures for us.
which I still fucking love that, like, he will take pictures of the no pictures allowed signs. Like, what are you gonna do? Kick me out? Yeah. Um, Ian wants to know, with Adventure 20 wrapping up, is there anything you really liked or disliked about the original Adventure when you first watched it that you've changed your mind on since then? I'm trying to
When we
decide if
first watched
so.
it, like 1990, like back in the way
Yeah. Well,
back at the
I,
beginning.
I'm trying to decide if he's saying Adventure 2020 or like if he's counting this as like the end of the 20th anniversary of Adventure.
Oh, well, either way, like if
Yeah.
you're talking about when, my impressions on everything when we first watched it in 1999, then yeah, a bunch of stuff's changed. Like I've gained a
Yeah. I
new
mean, we're
respect
all.
for like Mimi and that sort of stuff. If you're talking about when I like wrote my review like 10 years ago, then there's been a couple things. Like I have I have a better appreciation for the Edamon arc than I did back then.
I think
Like,
everyone does. I think everyone who saw it
yeah.
when they were reasonably young did get appreciation for it because it's different than all the others. So it's very easy to see why
Well,
that would be an issue
it's
with
also
people.
the bulk of Taichi's character development, and especially now, watching the reboot and 67 episodes of Taichi not getting any character development, you really appreciate everything he undergoes in just that one arc. Like that,
Yeah.
I really appreciate that now.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say there's nothing off the top of my head, but absolutely just because I mean I was in high school at the time.
Yeah,
I
like you're just gonna have a completely different impression of
yeah
the show.
yeah like at the time I was 13, 14. Like
Yeah.
that's very different than me sitting here 37, I believe. Like that's I'm not I'm an entirely different. We're all entirely different people than we would have been that back
Hmm.
then. So yeah, I just don't have anything to mind at the moment, to be honest.
Princess Karaoke's still an overrated episode, though. I stand by that.
The karaoke is very overrated in general, so.
Oh, Dev's gonna
I'll
start
let
fights
you
with people.
that you're standing alone on that one.
Okay, then someone wants to know what was the last VHS movie or anime you got. I
Are
doubt
we
any of
talking?
us would know. Sorry, go
Actually,
ahead.
I do know. I do know.
Wow, I
It's
was racking my brain, but you go ahead.
so we're talking acquired, right? Not like bought.
It
Believe it,
it said
believe it or
got.
not,
The question that was sent said
it was
got.
got. So as in acquired, the last VHS movie I got, and I do remember this, is actually Digimon the movie. And it happened because I'm not joking. Yeah, and I know this because it was somebody gave it to me, like they got it at a convention swap meet or something, and they just gave it to me because they didn't. I guess they probably didn't have a VHS player anymore, so they know I like Digimon, so they just gave it to me. And it was at a convention, so it was well after the point where I
Oh
would
no,
be
no,
acquiring VHS tapes.
no, that feels like a cheat.
Well,
I feel like the spirit of the question is like when you actually got VHS stuff, not just someone gave you a tape
oh well,
years later.
then it
That's
would
why
be.
when you were telling the story, I'm like, oh man, that's kind of neat that someone found the tape when when it was relevant to do so and gave it to you,
Oh, it
and then
wasn't
you're like,
relevant to do so. It would have been like
no,
2009.
I know you only mentioned that at the end. I was like, oh, it's so
Oh,
sweet, and it's like, oh, they gave you their trash.
yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Basically.
See, I
No, the
feel like
last
that.
anime is probably an anime. It was probably like an old ADV VHS tape of some OAV that I don't remember.
So I
Or it was, or
do.
actually, it might have been. I made the mistake that like everyone in like in the late '90s did when they were buying Slayer stuff. You get used to buying Slayer's OAVs, and then everyone at some point accidentally buys an episode of the series, and they get really confused.
Oh my
So
God!
it's possible the last VHS tape I bought was a random series string of episodes in the middle of Slayer's Try, and I had no idea what was going on or who these characters were.
You just reminded me. I actually do know what the last VHS I got was, and it's the same story as yours.
Mm.
But like,
Slayers?
no. It was given to me against my will, but it was still in the era when that was like VHS
A
technically
thing.
still mattered. It just popped in my. Um, so I was gonna say that I didn't know, but I think it was probably like Gundam Wing, because I think
Okay.
the VHS tapes were before the DVD, or well, DVD players were expensive at the time anyway, so I may have just gotten it on VHS. But I remembered um, Ranma Season 2 on DVD. There was an issue with one of the discs. So Viz was like, well, we're gonna fix it. Email us. Send us a picture of the disc. Receipt. Blah 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 blah, and we'll send you that in a gift. So the disc comes, and it's a big box. And the gift, it was like a 3-pack of Ranma VHS tapes. Like
Oh,
the bet,
hey.
like it was like the best of Akane, the best of boy Ranma, the best of girl Ranma. And I remember thinking, I bought a DVD. The gift for a DVD being broken are VHS tapes of the show that I bought on DVD. And this would have been like 2003. So VHS wasn't quite gone yet, but like it was out of it, it was
It was in its
on the,
death throes.
yeah. So technically I got it when VHS was still being made and sold, because that was like a newish product. It was just one that no one could do. But yeah, um, I'd still say Gundam Wing though. Dev, what do you think
Uh,
your VHS would have been?
it was probably probably around the same time-ish. So it was either the Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie / OVA that I got at West Coast Video.
Hat. Knuckles with
Or
his
it
hat.
was yes, or it was one of the random Hamtaro
Wow.
VHS tapes that came with a plush, because
Nice.
I was given the plush, but like in the bottom of the packaging, they
So,
sometimes threw in like
oh my
VHS tape.
God. So are you telling me that the last VHS we all remember getting was given to us against our will?
That would be consistent with the with the technology of VHS.
Well, the thing is, I
Oh,
didn't even get like a DVD player until like a really fucking long
okay.
time, because I was using my PS2
Okay, so you could
to
actually
play
use.
DVDs.
Oh, to be fair, the PS2 was a pretty good DVD player for the era.
Yeah, but wouldn't play anything that was made by Miramax. Nothing made by
Oh,
Miramax would play on the PS2. And I'm like, son of a bitch, because I really wanted to watch. Yeah, what the fuck it was. I think it was like
Clerks.
Princess Mononoke, so I had to like
Huh.
Oh God, I
get
forgot that
something
was
else.
Miramax. I have that DVD somewhere.
I probably have a VHS of that because I taped it off my campus college network that showed movies once in a while. I know that's how I watched. I remember that is how I watched Princess Mononoke, and I think I taped it.
Oh man, I
My
do not.
partner said, "Hey, I found this movie. It's really violent and it has wolves. You would like it." I'm like, "Okay," and
I
I
don't
did.
miss VHS at all.
No, I don't either.
Yeah. And then Galhard asks, do you think the current evolution lineup we have for Gammamon's dim card at any way hints at a specific dark evolution? I would say no.
Oh, I don't want to get into that yet.
Yeah,
What if it's just Gammamon covered in chocolate?
here's exactly what I'm gonna say. Outside of the Gammamon and his 2 lower levels, I believe everyone we see is filler is not the right word, but filler.
Yeah.
I do not believe
And
there's any clues here in any way, shape, or form.
there's going to be a range of evolutions anyway with dim cards, so whether or not it doesn't suggest a dark evolution because they're all going to have something to that extent
Yeah,
anyway, just by nature.
yeah. I do like the lineups though that we see, to be honest. And then someone wants to know, do you think Ghost Game will get soundtrack releases? The Adventure one seems to have done well, and they have a good musician for Ghost Game, so I would guess yes.
I mean,
Quite,
Atlon got one, so
quite
I
possibly in the
mean,
same format as of Adventure, to be honest.
all
yeah.
the series at some point
I
usually
I,
get.
I hope Ghost Game gets image songs though.
God,
Actually, yeah,
same.
the only thing that has not gotten BGM so far, I think, is Try.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, Try didn't get a
Yeah,
BGM. That's right.
yeah.
Yeah, it got the yeah, it got
Try got a
general
lot of
soundtracks
CDs.
of
Yeah,
it got
Try
a lot
got
of
a lot.
CDs for the actual songs in it, and it got the Image song album, but I don't think it got
Try
Digi
had a
on that.
lot of variations, which I would guess probably make doing a soundtrack CD iffy
Yeah, it'd
because
be
one,
tricky.
because here's the thing: releasing over 2.5 years, you don't want to do it too early because then you end up with the situation like the art book.
Yeah.
They did the art book after part 2, and even if you look at the rest of Try, I'm not sure there's enough to do an art book for the rest of it because
Yeah.
so much was used there that I think that was kind of just it. Okay, last chance for questions from the chat. I don't think we missed any there, did we?
I didn't see any, no.
Okay.
And I don't care if we did.
See, I want to make a joke about Dev being the sweet one, but I can't mentally make that leap.
Who the fuck ever got that idea?
I'm with her. I mean, if I'm being totally honest, I'm with her. I'm just watching the Packer game, waiting, counting down until the final seconds of their
And then,
big win.
so we get a certain subset of questions every week now. There's always someone wanting to know about Survive. There's always someone mad
Still
about
not happening in the near future.
There's always someone mad about something that any of us have said at some point. And now a lot of
Fair.
people want to know our thoughts on the Amico.
Why?
So
I
I didn't do one of those. I did do one that was Amico adjacent though. There was a lot of Amico ones because apparently I think Kotaku did an article like a day or two ago, and people started posting stories about Talarico, and well, those are some stories that are also 100% consistent with my understanding of how he acts.
Somehow this podcast has become the #1 source for Amico news on the
No,
internet.
I would say number
You'll
2.
just like us shitting on it.
Hey, I'm still
I mean,
laughing.
if you're not shitting on it, then you're not really covering it properly.
Yeah. So the question this time is not Amico related, but it's Amico adjacent. Ignoring any Amico jokes, have you guys had interest in any of the modern kind of retro interest systems?
Jaguar.
So when they say so they didn't clarify, but when they say retro interest, I'm gonna assume they mean like the modern retro ones and not just like this is a new version of an NES. Because like I have that shit. Like
We have so much of that shit.
yeah,
I have...
like that's my thing to collect is like getting the nice reproductions of a Nintendo, of a Sega Genesis. Like that is my thing. So I'm gonna assume it's not that because I'm pretty sure I've talked about that in the past.
Yeah, I've got Switch Online. I'm good.
Yeah. As for retro interest systems, I'm kind of interested. Well, like, wouldn't the Playdate count? And we talked about that. If that's close, kind of.
I don't know.
Think?
My answer is no. I'm not that interested in retro systems. Like, if sometimes I'll go on my computer and play something old, or sometimes I'll pull something old on like Switch Online or something.
You have no interest in anything other than say if Nintendo was gonna do another retro console, you'd be interested in that. You're not interested in like
actually. I'm not interested in paying for a retro experience. Let's put it that way.
Like I've already owned these games since like the past 2 decades. I don't need to buy them again.
Yeah, like I played Atari when I was like 8, and even then it was past its prime.
See, and that's what's funny for me and why the other subject's so funny. I didn't play Atari in the era. I played in television.
Yeah.
My parents had an Atari and a Nintendo, and when my mom was bored, she would just like sit me in her lap and hand me the controller, and it's like, I'm 2 years old. I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing, and I surprisingly got really far.
Yeah, Dev, really.
That's if we believe your controller's plugged in.
Surprisingly, it was. I could make Mario jump. I didn't fall down the pit that much.
That was an experience, being very young and playing Mario 1 for the first time, and just getting used to the concepts of the controls of not falling down the bottomless pit and not getting hit by the creepy mushroom coming at you.
Yeah, see,
I
those are
like
the
hopping on the mushrooms. I got really
Tho-
good
It
at
was
that.
great, yeah.
those are the games that always mattered, but I kind of remember more some of the weird, stupid ones, to be honest.
I played
Maybe
Smurfs.
I
yeah, I
played
don't
Marble Madness. Yeah.
Marble Madness. I remember,
I love
Marble
but
Madness was great.
one of the games that I honestly loved, it was called Kabuki Quantum Fighter.
I remember. I've heard of that. I don't
It
ever played it, but I've heard of it.
so it was Sunsoft, I believe, and it kind of was like their Batman game, but more acrobatics. And like I remember that Blaster Master.
I really liked Adventure Island.
Everyone liked Adventure Island.
Yeah, that was good.
Like, I got to ride a dinosaur. I didn't get far, but you know.
Godspeed to you, Master Higgins. Wherever you shall be, rotting away at Konami. But yeah, I always look at the retro stuff. I'm kind of interested in that weird. I don't remember the name of it. It's kind of like a portable Game Boy one, but actually uses cartridges and stuff, and it looks kind of neat. It's cheap. It apparently works decently well, so I'm kind of like vaguely tempted if I didn't have so much stupid shit like the Playdate on order. So yeah, I love all the retro stuff though. It's always fun. I think that's about it for questions. AR, minus your ups and downs with your beloved Packers, have you done anything last week? Do you have anything coming up next week?
I answered a question on Tumblr, but that was just a clearing
I
out the
think
inbox kind of thing.
I think I vaguely I think when I was clearing out tabs,
don't
I
even
saw it. I
think
scrolled past, and I think it was
oh.
something like you. I think it was something like someone saying you did something wrong or something.
No, they were just kind of I've been getting someone's been sending in stuff about saying that endings where the partners stay with their Digimon are better than endings where the partners have to separate from their Digimon, and I'm like, it depends on the series.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I was doing. No, this week, if I don't clear out my inbox, I will be spending the weeks writing parables about how amazing Aaron Jones is because he seriously just bailed me out in fantasy. My Twitter is First Agent ARP. My website is digimon.firstagent.net, and will still be around for one more week.
Huzzah.
And then they have to come here to listen to you.
I'll probably say something on Tumblr about Ghost Game. I can't shut up.
Dev, what Wikimon article would you like people to read?
I could take a look at Shademon because eyes. Eyes everywhere.
The eyes have it.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I want to see. Wow. All the names for those new Digimon make sense on Wikimon. Although I suppose
how does Wikimon spell Ruri?
Oh, it's the Ruli. I don't even. I'll pull it up, but I don't need to. Yep, it's Ruli.
I'm sure.
Here's the thing.
Why?
So here's the thing. Technically speaking, yes, you can translate that to Ruli. Yes, the image says Ruli on it. I'm not using that name for her until I have no choice, and the show just does it so much that it's not worth the effort to call her Ruri.
I'll point out that the actual show uses Hal instead of Haru.
Do they actually use that in the English?
The fourth ending? They spell it Hal when they write on his
birthday. Oh no! Don't do that to Dev. Someone from Wikimon might be listening and might change it, and then she has to deal with that. AR, why do you hate Dev?
I'm trying to get them to go back to Ruri, but
oh no, absolutely. It should. The only way that I use Ruli is if they use it in the subtitles, and at that point, it's just not worth my effort. Like because here's the thing with Ogremon, so many people have seen Ogremon over the years. It's a very easy thing to explain and deal with. If they use Ruli, then I'm just not going to deal with it. It's just
Every
not
time I
working.
s every time I see Ruli, I think back to Ruri from Nadesco and a particular catchphrase of hers.
God, I hate everything.
Is
Except
So
Dev's
Aaron
much.
Jones.
is Dev's face right now just the Ruri middle face?
Mhm.
I hate everything.
I'm gonna tweet that in a minute here.
That's just Dev's
The
face
middle
right
face,
now.
yeah.
The middle face. Although it may also be like you replace the left image with a knife and the right image with "I'm gonna stab somebody." That's your catch. That's Dev's catchphrase.
Just evict everyone from existence.
You know what? You know what I really want to do? It would be mean though. At the end of every episode, Yox to watch 2021. Does it still say Yox to?
Forever.
Yeah. So we will catch you guys next time for the end of adventure, and it feels like by then we have to know some more about Ghost Game, but we will see. We will catch you guys next time. Thanks for showing up. Bye.
Go Pack, go.
Bye.